You won't believe what's hidden in the new Farm Bill. Folks, I've been warning for the past month about the newly introduced Farm Bill and how harmful it is to our health. Hi, this is David Steinman. This is the Heartland Podcast. And today we're going to be talking about the 2026 U.S. Farm Bill that's now being debated in Congress. In addition to opening the floodgates for reckless use of farm chemicals, the Farm Bill would deny states the right to protect their citizens from pesticides in their own local communities or to enact humane farming laws. In other words, the state laws that promote healthy, humane farming practices like pasture-raised poultry, these would not be allowed on the state or local level. This is welcome to factory farm time, all part of Make America Great Again, I suppose. That's MAGA. Don't confuse that with Make America Healthy Again or MAGA, because we got to make sure we know the difference between the two. The House Agriculture Committee voted 34-17 on March 5th, advancing the Farm Bill with its pesticide shield provisions to the full House. All Republicans on the committee voted in favor, along with 7 Democrats. I'm putting the mobilization information you need to make your voice heard on my website at substack.com. That's David William Steinman at substack.com. You can contact your local congressperson and tell them you want them to vote so that they get rid of these really onerous amendments like the pesticide shield law that I'll be talking about in just a moment. So go to my Substack, that's David William Steinman, and you can get all the mobilizing information there. Now, the 7 Democrats, I'll give you their names: Jim Costa from California, Sharice Davids from Kansas, Don Davis, North Carolina, Gabriel Vasquez, New Mexico, Adam Gray, California, Kristen McDonald, Rivet, Missouri, Michigan, and Josh Riley, Democrat, New York. If I'm wrong on Rivet, let me know, but I think she's from Michigan, if I'm not mistaken. Make America Healthy Again, or MAHA, as I mentioned, unlike MAGA, which has morphed into whatever, MAHA is grounded in principles and beliefs, and it cares about issues beyond politics and sees these as test markers for elected representatives and appointed officials. So for these 27 Republicans, they all need to go too. And MAHA should send their big voice to them and let them know, you're out. We need public officials who care about America's health. The current Farm Bill is the most significant piece of legislation affecting the American food system. But the current vision of the bill contains numerous provisions that would threaten public health and the environment, including language that would shield pesticide companies from lawsuits, making it harder for people suffering from cancer and other illnesses associated with pesticide exposure to prevail in court. The bill follows an executive order from President Trump seeking to boost phosphate fighting in the U.S. in order to support glyphosate production, also known as Roundup, the cancer-linked herbicide at the center of thousands of lawsuits. And the Supreme Court will be considering whether or not to allow these lawsuits to go forward later this spring. So stay tuned for that. There's a lot going on there, and I'll be updating you on that too. Section 10205 in the Farm Bill draft, released Friday, February 13th, threatens the right of citizens to sue chemical manufacturers for the harm caused by their toxic products and their failure to warn about those hazards. In addition, Section 10206 preempts local government's authority to protect their residents from pesticide exposure as determined by state government, reversing a 1991 Supreme Court decision. And Section 10207 exempts registered pesticides from any further permitting or approval requirements, which could include permits to restrict pesticides under the Clean Water Act, requirements for an environmental impact statement under the National Environmental Policy Act, or NEPA, or requirements to meet review standards under the Endangered Species Act. So this is a really bad thing. Please go to my website, David Steinman at Substack, David William Steinman at Substack, and contact your congressperson. Right now, this bill is being debated in the House. Well, Congress is on recess as usual, but as soon as they get back, you'll be alerted. You've got to contact your congressperson now or later or both times and tell them to vote against these sections. Do not shield manufacturers from harm that their pesticides cause, because a lot of innocent people get hurt, especially in the farm states. Farmers and their kids and pesticide and herbicide applicators, they're at the highest risk, but we consumers are at risk too. We get cancer, our kids get neurological damage like ADHD, So this is really important. This is David Steinman. This is the Heartland podcast. My new book is Raising Healthy Kids, Protecting Your Children from Hidden Chemical Toxins. You can get it at Amazon.com. Subscribe to my YouTube podcast at Official David Steinman. And as I said, get all the mobilizing information at my Substack, David William Steinman.